Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Urshan, and get your Horror Hangout t-shirt and represent and show your love for the Horror Hangout crew. I will have the link in the description of this video so you can order yourself a t-shirt. There's also hoodies, long sleeve shirts, tank tops. Yeah, show your love for the crew. Speaking of the Horror Hangout live stream, today we are announcing the next Horror Hangout live stream, which will take place on Monday, July 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a special guest coming up. His name is Mark the Movie Man, and he is a film critic. So we're going to pick his brain a little at the Horror Hangout. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, because there's some things I want to know, I'm very curious about film critics, I even did a big long video about it. Number one, we want his thoughts on the slasher film and its reputation of negative reviews and why he think that might be, over the course of horror film history, Slasher films have not always gotten a great reputation, Very curious his thoughts on that. Number two, what is his perception of classic horror, like the Universal monster films and the Hammer horror films and their influence on today's horror? Also, I'd like to know his thoughts on the current independent horror scene versus the mainstream of horror today. Number four, where does he think the direction of horror is going right now? What is his thoughts on that? Thoughts on the professional film critic versus the smaller YouTube community, like myself and everyone in the Horror Hangout crew and many, many others, Yeah, is there room for both? We're also going to be talking about the Halloween Kills trailer. Of course, we have not discussed that yet on the Horror Hangout live stream. Very curious to hear everyone's thoughts on the trailer. We also got a great trailer for Don't Breathe Part 2. Very excited about that one. And there was a very interesting film on Netflix over the past couple of weeks called Fear Street, 1994. And this is going to be a trilogy, I believe. The next one's going to be Fear Street, 1978. So yeah, a great retro kind of vibe, Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun talking about that one. We're also going to be talking about The Tomorrow War, which was on Amazon Prime, I believe. Yeah. And some very interesting news hot off the presses is Night of the Living Dead Part 2. Yes, we're going to discuss that one because I'm very interested in what everyone's thoughts are, because they are going to be having the returning cast members from Day of the Dead. Yes, the 3 survivors from the original Day of the Dead film from 1985. So that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I'm very curious to see how they handle that, I hope they do it justice, though, and it's not some, cheap sequel, or, because Night of the Living Dead is public domain, so pretty much anybody can make a sequel or remake of Night of the Living Dead, But I hope they take this very seriously and do a great job, because this could be huge, Alright guys, so don't forget to tune into the Horror Hangout live stream on Monday, July 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, featuring the regular Horror Hangout crew, and that is the Horror Miser Monty G. It's going to be taking place on Monty G's channel. Myself, Sean Patrick Urshan, Jen and Christian from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and the Trashed Picture Show. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Urshan, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.